but how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that. What's the trade setup looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Ekta, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Thanks for that. Well, yes, the markets did close at record highs for the third straight session. So there's a lot of momentum which is behind our markets for the past couple of weeks as well as months. So the Nifty Bank also gained over 400 odd points. We had the mid-cap index also, which was up around 89 odd points. So it's basically the Midas touch. Anything you touch in the markets is probably going to be in the green. FII's net bought close to around 2,000 odd crores in equities yesterday. DII's net sold close to around 340 odd crores. Now, in terms of the US markets, you did say it was a truncated session, but they did eke out small gains. Asia is largely a little weaker. There is the Australia rate decision which is waiting for. So that is something that the street will be looking out for, or at least the Asian markets. Oil has largely rallied on account of the Saudi-Russian supply cuts which are due in the month of August. So that is something that the street would watch out for, but no great movements. Brent is currently at around $74 per barrel. We have the US markets which is closed for today, so no real cues which is going to come out from the US. One of the big cues which we will be watching out for later on in the week will be the FOMC minutes. So that is something that the street would wait for in order to assess what the Fed would be thinking in terms of its further trajectory. Overall structure remains positive. The Nifty is attaining highs at a steady pace, so no complaints as of now. We can probably expect that sort of momentum to continue.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ekta, for joining us with all those market cues. Now over to Surbhi. She lists out all the stocks which will be in focus today. Surbhi.
Good morning, Sonal. So first on my radar is Reliance. The Reliance Jio has launched its new 4G phone called Jio Bharat, and it is priced at $999. Next is IDFC First Bank. The board has approved the merger of IDFC and IDFC First Bank. Shareholders will receive 155 shares of IDFC First Bank for every 100 shares of IDFC. Some Q1 business updates coming in. The first one is from Avenue Supermarts. They saw 18% growth in their revenue. It came in at 11,584 crores. Vedanta, the total aluminium production was up 2% and the overall power sales were up 19% for the quarter. Bajaj Finance, they saw new loans booked were up 34% and an AUM growth of 32% for Q1. And lastly, Torrent Power is also on my radar as the company starts work on a green hydrogen pilot project to blend with natural gas for the CGD network.
Okay, all right. Those are a couple of stocks which are on our radar today. Surbhi, thank you so much for that list. Finally, let's talk about the F&O space. Mangalam is joining us. Hey, Mangalam.
Good morning. So, yesterday was a record-breaking session yet again with the Nifty conquering that 19,300 mark for close. And that was led by smooth power transition from the big heavyweights. The first half of trade, it was the HDFC twins which reigned supreme. And thereafter, Reliance took over. And Reliance was the one which ended at the high point of trade, ended up being the top contributor to the Nifty yesterday, along with ITC. So we had HDFC twins, ITC and Reliance accounting for all the gains on the indices. In terms of cash market volumes, the FI has bought about 2,000 odd crores. The DII has sold about 338 crores. And this will be a factor that we'll be watching out for today because the US markets are closed. So the FI volumes would be on the lower side as well. But there are some cues coming in from the F&O space which suggest that there could be some consolidation. They bought about 434 crores in the cash markets or other index futures. They added about just 3,000 longs and covered about 1,900 shorts. But the cues for consolidation come from one, that FIIs are now 70% long in index futures, apart from, them having sold more options as well. Yesterday, we saw some calls selling. So 1.37 lakh calls were written. That's telling you that on the way up, we may face some congestion. Secondly, India VIX, which was at a bit of a lull, has seen a bit of a spike and it's still below 12. Above 12 is where we start to see some volatility in the market. And the Nifty put call ratio is closer to 1.5, which is again an overstretched zone. So we'll watch out for that. Those who've written the 19,300 call and put are playing for a range of 19,150 to around 19,450. So that's the broad range we're looking at. But on the way up, 19,350 to 19,360 could be a bit of a congestion as well. It's also Fin Nifty expiry today. It is Tuesday. Fin Nifty suggests a bit of a support at around that 20,200 mark. Close to where we're at right now. The highest calls are at 20,400. And to that extent, the way Bajaj twins performed today, that's Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, in light of strong data coming in from Bajaj Finance, in their first quarter is something we'll be watching out for. And in F&O stocks, most definitely keep an eye out on IDFC First Bank, likely to see a big fall today on account of the swap ratio that values it at 14% discount to IDFC.
Oh yes, those are that is one stock that we'll be closely watching out for. Thank you guys for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead. Time for a short break now. When we return, Jio unveils Jio Bharat platform, prices the new phone at 999 rupees. More on that when we return. Stay tuned.